productivity has quietly become the measuring stick of our self-worth. From the moment we wake up, we're bombarded with reminders that every second must be optimized, tracked, and justified. Work calendars dictate our lives, apps remind us to stay on task, and wearable devices even judge the way we spend our minutes. Over time, this obsession has shaped a belief: if we are productive, then we are valuable. If we're not, we're failing. And in this world that glorifies efficiency, procrastination is painted as the ultimate sin. But what if procrastination isn't a flaw? What if it's not laziness, but instead a vital signal from your mind and body, one worth listening to? This shift in perspective changes everything. Society tells us that procrastination is weakness, a gap in our discipline, something to fight and defeat. But underneath that surface-level judgment, procrastination is trying to tell us something deeper. Instead of being an enemy to battle, it can become a messenger if we learn how to decode it. And that is exactly where the triple check method comes in. A simple yet powerful framework that transforms procrastination from a source of guilt into a guide for clarity. The triple check begins with a single question: why am I procrastinating right now? The answer often lies in one of three places: the head, the heart, or the hand. Each reveals a different layer of resistance, and by identifying where it originates, you can respond not with shame, but with strategy. The beauty of this method lies in its honesty. It doesn't force you to push through like so many productivity hacks. Instead, it gives you tools to realign your work with your mind, your emotions, and your environment. Let's start with the head. This is the rational side of procrastination. If your head is resisting, it usually means you're not fully convinced about the task itself. Perhaps it doesn't make sense. Maybe the strategy feels flawed, or you haven't clarified why it matters. When procrastination comes from the head, the solution is not more discipline, it's more clarity. Take the time to ask, is this the right approach? Is this even the right task? Sometimes a quick conversation with a colleague, a brainstorming session, or even reframing the strategy can reignite your drive. The head procrastinates when the logic isn't solid, and that means the fix is logical too. But sometimes it isn't about logic at all. Sometimes it's the heart that resists. This is the emotional layer of procrastination, where the task in front of you feels uninspiring, heavy, or dull. You know it's important, yet the thought of doing it drains your energy. When procrastination comes from the heart, the solution is to redesign the experience so that it feels lighter, more enjoyable, or at least less lonely. That might mean moving your work to a cozy cafe, turning the task into a game, or inviting a colleague to co-work with you. When you reshape the emotional environment, the heart begins to cooperate. And then there's the hand. This is the practical layer. You want to make progress, you understand the task, but you feel blocked because you don't have the right tools, skills, or resources. It's like standing at the edge of a job you're willing to do, but without a ladder to climb. Here, the solution is simple, but often overlooked. Ask for help, seek mentorship, gather resources, or learn the missing skill. Raising your hand and saying, "I need support here," turns procrastination from paralysis into progress. Yet even when head, heart, and hand all align, procrastination can still linger. And this is where the triple check reveals its final layer. Sometimes the problem doesn't lie within you, but outside of you. Systemic barriers, a toxic environment, or unrealistic expectations can all sap motivation, no matter how disciplined or inspired you feel. In these cases, the bravest act may be to step back, redesign the environment, or even walk away entirely. Procrastination, in this sense, becomes a compass pointing to misaligned circumstances that you alone cannot fix. But the triple check isn't just about removing barriers, it's about discovering your magic windows. These are those rare, golden periods where productivity feels effortless, creativity flows, and hours disappear in what feels like minutes. You've experienced them before, whether deep in a conversation with a friend, absorbed in a creative project, or walking under the quiet rhythm of your thoughts. These windows hold the secret to sustainable focus. By learning to identify and protect them, you can create a rhythm of work that feels natural rather than forced. The key is not filling every moment with tasks, but filling the right moments with the right kind of work. This leads to the idea of mindful productivity, a way of working that shifts the focus from maximizing time to maximizing energy. Traditional productivity teaches us to treat each minute as a box that must be filled. But mindful productivity asks deeper questions. What is the best use of my energy right now? What deserves to be in my magic window? And how can I keep this window open longer? This mindset doesn't just improve efficiency, it improves well-being, because it acknowledges that your emotions, your energy, and your focus are just as valuable as your time. Procrastination, through this lens, isn't an obstacle, it's feedback. And that feedback becomes a mirror, reflecting not only your tasks, but your relationship with work, with yourself, and with your environment. Instead of silencing it with guilt, you can embrace it with curiosity. Why am I resisting this right now? Is my head unconvinced? Is my heart uninspired? Are my hands unequipped? Or is the problem bigger than me? With each question, you move closer to alignment. But let's go one step deeper. One of the most damaging aspects of procrastination is not the act itself, it's the shame that follows. In Buddhism, there's a concept known as death by two arrows. The first arrow is the initial difficulty, the pain of procrastination, the delay, the frustration. The second arrow, however, is optional. It is the guilt, the self-blame, the narrative of failure we add on top of the first arrow. That second arrow causes more suffering than the first, yet we often choose to carry it without realizing it. When you release that second arrow, procrastination becomes less of a punishment and more of an opportunity. This is where the triple check transforms from a tool into a practice. Each time procrastination surfaces, it's not proof of weakness, it's a call to check in. A reminder to pause, reflect, and realign. Instead of fighting your resistance, you learn from it. Instead of shaming yourself, you listen. And in doing so, you uncover not just a strategy for getting work done, but a deeper connection with how your mind, your emotions, and your body truly operate. That awareness is the foundation of mindful productivity, and it can open doors not only to greater output, but to a richer, more sustainable way of living and working. So the next time you find yourself staring at a task you can't seem to start, don't fall into the trap of self-criticism. Don't add the second arrow. Instead, perform the triple check. Ask yourself, is my head resisting, is my heart resisting, or are my hands resisting? And if everything aligns, but the resistance remains, consider the system around you. Your procrastination is not a flaw, it's a message. The question is, are you ready to listen?